Hold on. Let's just see if this works. Good afternoon. We're here. We're live on the We See Jesus Ministries YouTube channel, and we'll be playing this back on the Facebook page. So I'm here with my friend, Pastor Bishop Reginald Celestian. Him and I, we were just in Haiti together with our friend, Pastor Damien Provencio from California. So we just had a great trip. And so we want to kind of give you a little bit of an update as it relates to Haiti, what's going on with Haiti, what is the situation in Haiti, what does Haiti look like right now, what's going on with the projects we're doing, and kind of just like giving people kind of like a glimpse into kind of what is going on in the nation so people have a better understanding of how they could pray and how they could kind of engage with what's happening. So, right now, Haiti is a level 4 State Department, very dangerous. They were kidnapping, I think, 6 people when we were there in Carrefour alone. One of our friends was kidnapped, and by the grace of God, they were able to get him. They paid, but they were able to get him out, and so he's returned to his wife and I think 4 children. Is that right?
Yes, 4 children.
Yeah, so that was, thank God he's alive. It's a touchy situation because it's like, thank God he's alive, but yet when you pay the ransom, the chances are more people get kidnapped. So it's a very, very delicate and touchy situation. And you're a guy who I love and appreciate and who's really always good under pressure. So I kind of want to share that because I've been telling some of the people in the church that I pastored that get ready and get used to living under a new level of pressure and uncertainty because if a year and a half ago you would have told us that the whole world would have been kind of like in a semi lockdown, I would have laughed at you. I wouldn't have even believed it. And so we're living in uncertain times and we have to learn how to navigate that. So I want to kind of dive into how do you navigate that because many people don't realize that you're facing uncertainty almost every single day. And
Yeah.
so that's something that you live certain in uncertain situations. And so I want really you to kind of like encourage the folks and speak to that. But first, can you kind of give them kind of like an update in terms of Haiti, what you were just telling me about the military coup that didn't work?
Yeah, so thank you, Adam. Um, on Sunday, most of the churches in Carrefour, in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, couldn't even have a service. So as you know, while we were in Haiti, no one could go to school. School were locked or closed because of the I mean, not necessarily the political situation, but mostly the insecurity, the kidnappings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the week before you left Haiti, as you remember, so we had to put you in a hotel by the airport because they were saying that the country would be locked down completely. So it didn't happen necessarily in the rhythm that we were thinking that it would happen. But still, on Tuesday and on Thursday, the country was shut down completely. And we were like the opposition were saying that they are going to, reverse the president if he doesn't leave power on the 7th. So what happened is from our news, so we are hearing that there was like a failed coup where some people they were like judge and a very high police officer. So and for they were trying to have a coup, and we could hear all the conversation between the head of security at the palace, the head security of the president. So he just put it live, put it open. Everyone can hear this conversation with all these people. They offer him like $500,000 US, to participate in that. So he said that he would not participate. So on Sunday around 12 o'clock.
Right. So let me stop just because I want people to make sure that we're getting this.
Yeah.
So the head of the president's security team was offered half a million, 500,000
Yeah.
US dollars to participate in a military coup against his boss, and he didn't participate?
No, he did not participate. He is the one who put the news out and let everyone now hears it and know about it. So he was the one, leading also with some other police officers, leading the arrest, to arrest 23 people that same night.
Wow.
They arrested 23 people, put them in jail now. Now they are being like taking them to court, to figure out what's happening. So now it's all over. It's all over the news. And the
What do you
president,
think will happen to those guys? Do you think they'll be charged for treason?
yeah, that's exactly you like our minister of justice. That's exactly what he is saying. They would be charged for treason, and
Will they be executed for that?
no, they would not be executed because we don't have that in Haiti no more. We don't have like death sentence. We don't have public execution no more.
Got it.
So, yeah, which is I don't know if I would say a good thing, but in the past they would not even try that, back to Papa and Baby Duck. So
Yeah.
they would be finished by now. So yeah, and on the 7th, the president didn't leave power because we have this law misunderstanding that so far not many people can even understand it because in our constitution it is said that the president is elected for 5 years. So President Jovenel Moïse, who is the actual president of Haiti now, he got into power on February 7, 2017. So his term should do on February 7, 2022. But there is a second alinea in our constitution saying that if the election was slow down, so the president, the date that they will consider would be the date that the election, the year that the election started. So the election started in 2015. They revoked the election saying that there was fraud. So now we had another election in 2016. So our former president Martelly left on February 17, 2016. So the new president should be in power that same date. But we had like a 1 year with a transitional president. So now they are saying that they will count this year on.
We're trying to take that off his time, and he's like, no way.
Oh yeah, he said no way, no way. And now he is really, since like for the past 3 years, he's been really after the bourgeois, like the rich people, saying that they establish in the country a system where they are really choking the population, taking all the money. As you know, in Haiti, only 9 families have like 90% of all the riches of the country. They are the richest people. So now he is really after them. One of them now had to go and live in the state because of some contracts with electricity. So he had a speech on Friday. Imagine they're asking him to leave power on Sunday. And on Friday, he had a speech where he's telling people, on TV, and everyone could hear and see it. He is saying them, I know that you have the attitude, you have the behavior of killing, exiling, of putting in jail president. But I just want you to know that this one is stuck in your throat. There's no way you cannot kill me, you cannot exile me, you cannot put me in jail. So you will have to do with me, you will have to be stuck with me for the next year.
I like that. I like
so, that. And the other thing that he did that was very extreme is the fact that the failed coup, they arrested the people around 2 o'clock in the morning. And that same Sunday, he left the palace, he left Port-au-Prince and went to the carnival in Jacmel to dance, just to be in the carnival, just to show the opposition, you are a whole bunch of talkers, but you cannot do anything. You're not doers, you are just talkers. So just to give you, this is where we are now. And now the opposition is still saying that he has to leave. They are demonstrating on the street, but he is remaining steadfast. As a matter of fact, he is after some other people to arrest, because while they are questioning the people that they arrested, they are giving more names. So they are looking after these people. So now we have another guy who is a judge. He just had a speech saying that he is now the new president of Haiti. We have another guy in Capation, so saying that he is the new president of Haiti. So far, we have like 3 presidents according to what they are saying, but in reality, we have only 1 president. So this is where we are now in the country.
So you have, I want to get this straight and make sure I'm listening carefully. So
Yeah.
you have an actual president,
Yes, an elected president.
an elected president, and then you have a judge and another guy, business guy from Cap Haitian that are
No,
declared.
he's a judge too. The guy in Cabation, there is a judge
He's a
too.
judge too. So you have
Because,
two.
yeah, because according to our constitution, if the president dies suddenly or if something happened, the head of superior court would be automatically the president. So you would become the president for 3 months in order to
Have an
organize
election.
very election. So that's why you will hear a lot
So
of
they're actually they're like saying that he's dead, but he's alive, because they're saying they're the president, but in reality they would only be the president if he died, and he's
yeah.
alive.
Exactly, and only one of them could. So now they arrested one judge who was the one that they got. He was the judge that would be the president. So since they arrested him, some hours later, another guy, he pronounced his speech saying that he is the new president, addressed to the nation. And later on, we got that other guy in capation. So maybe I need to take my camera and have a speech saying that I am the president of Kafu.
Well, when that happened in America, because they were declaring Biden and Kamala Harris president and vice president, everyone on Instagram was calling themselves president elect.
Yeah, so this is kind of what is happening now in Haiti.
It's to me, you know what it feels like, Pastor Reg, because we don't battle against flesh and blood. It almost feels like a lawless spirit of rebellion and chaos.
Yes, and that's what we've been facing throughout the time in Haiti.
So Bishop, I feel that this is a very important thing to talk about, and in terms of how do you navigate the uncertainties that you're facing, because in reality, one day to the next, the grocery store could be closed, the whole country could be locked down, or everything could be normal, or they could be a kidnapping spree. So how do you navigate just your day-to-day life in God and pastoring and as a father? Like, how do you navigate?
So when you grew up in an environment like that, so it's not like you got used to it. So we say that all over the world they are saying that the Haitian people are very resilient people. So we got used to things that no one should get used to. But as a pastor, as a father, you have to rely on a day-by-day basis, to God. It's not like you have to always be on your guard, because anything can happen at any time. So we navigate through like trusting God. Like on Sunday, we didn't have a service. We didn't have a service in our churches. Most of the churches that have a service on Sunday morning, simply because they were saying that things would be very, very bad on that day. So we try to adjust our time, adjust what we are doing. Like now, I'll give you an example. I've taken the resolution that I'm not leaving the office very late as I used to. Sometimes I would leave the office around 7, 8 o'clock p.m. So I always try now to leave the office before it gets dark. Simply because even though we are trusting the Lord, but we have to be wise. You have to be aware of the situation around you, and to make sure that you protect yourself, you protect your family and all of your loved ones. So the same way for the church, now we are trying to be wise and talk to the people, strengthen their faith in a new era, in a new way that we would in the past that we would not even think of. Like like in our church now, we don't have night service no more, like evening services. We used to have, like, as 3 services a week, one on Tuesday night, one on Thursday night, and one on Sunday morning. So now we only have a Sunday morning service. So we try to go mostly by keeping the people through WhatsApp, not even Facebook, because not many people really use Facebook or Instagram. So it's mostly WhatsApp where we have special prayer meeting in the morning. We send like some, devotional requests, stuff like that. So that's the way we try to navigate through it all while we are believing God for the change and speaking it out. You know, that's what I can say.
So are you meeting next Sunday, or you don't know yet?
No, we are meeting next Sunday. So like you remember while you were in Haiti before you preach at the church, we made the announcement that we would not have a service on the 7th. So, but this Sunday there's no announcement. We are pressing to have a service. But if things get really really bad, then you would not even have to make the announcement. No one would come because they know the situation better than you do.
Okay. Okay. So every day you have to adjust to what's happening.
Exactly.
Now, does that get frustrating? Does that get frustrating? How does that feel? Like what
that gets really, really frustrated. Simply because when you are looking for, what to do, and you know how to do it, but very often you just cannot do what you know to do.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to say this. I want to ask you what your perspective is. This is kind of a random question, but Haiti is the first Black republic.
Yes.
In reality.
Yeah.
And so theoretically, Haiti has been free from France or.
Yeah, from France. Yeah.
Right. For hundreds of years.
Yeah, over 200 years.
Okay. So in your mind, is freedom an outside job or an inside job?
I would say both, but I would say that you have to be free inside first before you can enjoy the outside freedom. Yeah. Because, like, let's say the same thing happened for the Israelites. So they left Egypt, so they were free from Egypt, the outside.
Didn't leave them.
In their mindset, it was another thing. God had to deal with that for over 40 years, and even after 40 years, killing a whole generation, died in the wilderness. But still, you will see after that, they are still, the mentality.
Yeah. See, the wilderness has folks longing for Egypt.
Exactly.
See, that's why, some people will prefer slavery over uncertainty. Exactly.
So, some people even now in Haiti, they are asking why America, the US that come and occupy Haiti, they think that they would be better. Some people, if you talk to them on the street, that's what they are saying. As a matter of fact, most of the people, they are trying to find a way out, So, because freedom from the outside may not even make sense to people if from the inside they are not, first of all, free.
My God. So that means that there could be people who are free on the outside but still feel oppressed on the inside.
Exactly.
When in reality they're not oppressed.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's interesting how it's both spiritual and practical.
Yeah.
It's both, like, it is situational, but it's not only situational. And that's the thing, like with the children of Israel, like as you brought up, they get delivered, they come out of Egypt in a week, but it takes a generation for Egypt to come out of them.
Exactly.
And you come out of Egypt fast, but Egypt comes out of us slow.
Exactly.
And that's not God's issue. That's usually ours.
No, exactly. Because
the only people that went into the promised land are people who didn't live with the curse of Egypt's perspective of fear and lack and wanting to go back and all those other things.
No, because people have the tendency to rely on what they know works.
Yeah.
So when after a certain time being slave, so to you slavery works because you got a momentum. where you know exactly what to do, where
Yeah.
to go. So after a while, it becomes your normal life, you know. But to freedom is something new, because Jesus, the Bible declares it, whom the Son set free
It's free
is free
indeed.
indeed. But you are free indeed, you know. But if you don't really know it and feel it, you can still be like living, I mean, being free and live like a slave.
Yeah. For those of you who are going to be watching this on YouTube, below, I'm going to leave a link if you guys want to sew into the basketball project we're doing. We still need about $7,000 to complete that. We kind of underestimated how much material, concrete, steel, cement, we just didn't know. Plus a bridge broke, that was $2,000. So anyway, there was just some stuff that we're learning and growing through that.
But at least we didn't underestimate labor.
It's true.
Because if we underestimate labor, we will be in big trouble, you know.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I think that it's important, you know, for people to understand, you know, that Haiti is going through a difficult time. You know, in reality, Haiti is difficult when it's not going through a difficult time.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes people don't understand. I mean, you know, Pastor D was like, yo, this is a hostile place. Like,
Yeah.
that's a guy that fought the Taliban, you know.
Exactly. If you can say that Haiti is an hostile place, you know that it's real, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
But yet you have peace and you have joy, which is
Yeah.
what I love about you guys, and just, you know,
We're
the
not
heart.
controlled by our circumstances. We are controlled by what is inside of us, you know.
So you're not a victim.
No, we're
What
not.
would you want to tell to Americans who feel sorry for themselves? Could you encourage them out of that victim mentality?
As we were talking about being a slave from the inside, so having a victim mentality, you can have, I'll give you an example, you can have 100 times more than someone, and you feel more like a victim than that person you have 100 more than what they have, you know. Some people may be happy while they are just having a piece of bread. You know, you know, we've been to Canaan and you saw the joy, the kids are playing, you know, and so while some other kids are crying because they need the new iPhones. They got the iPhone 11, so to them it's too old. They are crying for the 12, and they feel like a victim because they can have it, you know. So it's not a matter of really what you have or not what you don't have. It's a matter of your state of mind and what it's built inside of you.
Yeah. So the church right now in Haiti is going through a difficult time, but it's not due necessarily to persecution specifically against Christians. It's just due to the pressure that's on the nation as a whole.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with persecution against the church, you know. Like even now, if we want, we can still have an outdoor crusade. People would still come, you know. But I would say that it's mostly persecution against the whole nation. Like we are one of the nations of the world nations where your own nation is not a good place for you to live. You don't even feel living in your own country. It's
Yeah.
a country where they are kicking you out from your own country. I can understand, like, let's say I travel, I go and live in the States, and they are trying to kick me out. But, you know, it's not my country. But Haiti, it's a place where you are feeling that they are kicking you out, you know. To some people, I'll give you an example. Some people are even asking me, what are you still doing in Haiti? Why don't you leave? And when you try to explain to them about mission, about vision, about call, they are saying, you know, I had even have someone told me that you are called, but not your children. At least get them out of this mess, you know. So to them, the separation between the father and the children, it's nothing, because you are giving them a better life. And I understand, because there are things that you are hearing, seeing, that a child, young mind, should not even experience, should never, never
Yes, but
experience.
that's true. But you know what? A child needs more than anything is you.
Yeah, exactly. So
The
that's
hardest
exactly
thing to give our kids isn't a good education. It's ourselves.
exactly. So that's it. That's even why I am saying, even for the like orphanages, I am saying to everyone, the best place for a child to live, it's with his or her parents. You know, even though you may not have all you could give, they may have a better living, but life is not about food. Life is not about money. Life is not about the material things that you could have. Life is about what is being put inside of you. You know, like my children, I would rather sleep on the floor with them than having them sleeping in a palace without me, you know? So that's
Wow.
the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree with that because in my own perspective as a man, I feel like it's easier to give everything other than ourselves
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You are exactly right.
as a man,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, yeah, it's important to so you're saying that you're not a victim of your circumstances. Life is more than what you have. It almost sounds like you're a Christian.
Yeah, you know, and I even I tell some people, even from our church, from the pulpit, I will tell people, when situations like that happens, you need to be ready, you need to be prepared. I mean, financially, because this is the time you can get a car for cheap. This is the time you can get a house and some goods, because people are leaving, and when they are leaving, they just want to sell for, you know, underestimate what they are selling. So now, since I know that I am staying in the country, so if you want to leave, leave. So give me, you know, I always, I even tell people, I'm not glad when people who don't have nothing are leaving. I am happy when they have things, where they have goods for sale, you know, when they are leaving, because I know for sure they will come back. Because I am believing God, we are believing God for a new Haiti, for something. I don't think that we can go lower than where we are now. So we have to go up. So I am ready for when we are going up, and I will be there. I will testify.
Nice. I like that. I like that opportunity. Faith always provides opportunities,
Yeah.
and even in tragedy and difficulty, you see opportunity, and that's probably why we're friends and we work together. Because I want to carry that same mentality. I really like what you said when we were together recently. You were talking about how it's critical that the church steps up, not steps back.
Exactly.
You know, and I mean, yeah, you can be wise and you can avoid unnecessary trouble, and I get that. But I think that more than ever, it's our job now to shine. It's like it becomes dark and then we want to hide. It's like, no, it's time to shine. So I
Exactly.
hope to be back with you in April. Um, but anyway,
Are you bringing Pastor Damien again?
I don't know. He's
I'm just kidding.
yeah. Well, it was fun to have him.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a great time, even though things appear seems to be difficult, but the time we spent together, to us, it was like the normal Haiti.
yeah. Well, what was a blessing is that he's been through a lot of stuff,
Exactly.
and we've been through some things together. And you know what's blessing is that when you're dealing with people who've been through things, they're not difficult. Like
Yeah.
there's no like friction, there's no fear. It's not like
Yeah.
so everyone is just eating, getting along. All
Yeah.
kinds of crazy things are happening. But
Yeah. And that's the real definition of peace,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. And you know what was really great too is when we went to get the construction stuff.
Yeah.
And they took Zell. It's like that's
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
crazy. That's God.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm trusting that we're going to be able to finish this basketball court. We're kind of at a standstill right now. We need your help. We need people who can sew into this project. We need basically, really what we need is like 7 churches to give 1,000. If we have 7 churches that give a
Awesome. Yeah,
thousand,
yeah,
we can speed this thing up. Once we hit 3,500, we'll start the work again, and then we'll wait for the other 3,500.
yeah.
If it takes long like that, if not, maybe it'll just come in a check or two. I don't know what God will do, but I'm expecting us to finish building so that by our spring and our summer, we can be, moving
Yeah.
forward and having games, and letting the court serve the purposes of why we put it in the neighborhood where you planted a church. And just so I want people to hear this, Pastor Reginald planted a church in a place where there has never been a church in 300 years. And people were doing voodoo and weird stuff against us. And we've had almost our car broke down like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And they almost had a dump truck accident. So there's all kinds of turbulence, but that's just a part of the resistance that you face when you're moving forward. And so if you don't face resistance, it's because you're not moving forward.
Exactly.
And if you want to take ground from the enemy, it's not without a conflict or a battle. And so I'm happy to be uh, battling with you together for the kingdom. My wife and I, we love you guys. We cherish our friendship, and we look forward to the many years ahead that God has for us. And we want to see the kingdom of God come in Haiti as it is in heaven.
Amen.
And Haiti is a place of tremendous brokenness, but also tremendous beauty. And when I look at it, I see a world of potential.
Amen.
And
Right.
and so I want to see that, come to fruition, and the words that were spoken over Haiti. And I want to see also, because in reality there has been seeds that have been planted all over Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're believing, we know Mac and even other people have planted seeds all over the nation, and we're believing for a real harvest of righteousness and justice in Haiti. We're believing God to raise up a new generation of leaders that can take the principles of the kingdom and, like leaven, weave them into the society and see the kingdom come in ways that are,
Yeah.
unique, different, and also see God establish justice, because mercy transforms people, but justice transforms nations, and
Exactly.
Haiti needs justice.
Exactly.
It needs justice, and the issue with justice is that those who administer it must be just.
Yeah.
And when those who administer justice are not just, then you have
You have no justice. You cannot give
corruption,
what you don't have.
lawlessness, and every other thing. I still remember when we were in the children's prison years ago, and for Christmas, and we asked a young man how long he'd been there, and the young man said he'd been there 1 year. He was accused of rape. He was there for 1 year. He never touched.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is that when you're poor, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Exactly.
And when you're rich, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yep.
And in America, there's color and there's economics, but in Haiti, it's sheer economics.
Yeah.
And so, that was something that I never forgot. Just about how poverty, it brings difficulty on so many different levels, and you're someone who's learned how to navigate past that and through that. And I think that you have a lot. To be honest, I think that you have a lot to offer the church in America or in Europe, because whether you're dealing with persecution or just plain difficulty, um, you learn how to navigate, differently. Like there's a proverb, it's not in the Bible, but it's an African proverb, and it says that smooth seas don't produce skillful sailors.
Mm. Yeah.
And so it's through the tumultuous waters and the storms that a skillful sailor is made. And so when you learn how to navigate through difficulty and uncertainty, you you know you're really growing in character and discernment and wisdom. And I believe that the Lord is preparing you for something really great, something beyond maybe even what you expect
Amen.
from your own life,
Yes.
based upon you learning how to navigate that. So anyway, man, I love you. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And if you're going to watch this later on Facebook, you can go above and you can donate to the Basketball Court Project. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can hit the link below, and you can donate. And we still need about 7,000 to finish this basketball court in Cavaillon, Haiti. And we'd appreciate if you prayerfully consider doing that so that we can continue to be a blessing to Cavaillon in the area where your church is. And we're honored to be partnering with you and moving forward together for the kingdom. So thanks a lot, Bishop.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are really honored to know that we are partnering to change. So I wanted to add that, some people will be thinking, why in a countryside like that, you are building a basketball court that is costing all that amount of money, So what I wanted to say to the viewers, people will view that video, it's not, we are believing for the future, because through sports, we can evangelize, we can change the lives of the people, because through sports, we're gonna have the people more than on Sunday morning. So we are doing a basketball court because we want to take the people, to mentor them, to coach them in order to bring them to a highest level. And I think that sports like basketball is a very good ground to change lives, because in some areas through sports, people are becoming real vagabonds, they are becoming gangsters and stuff like that. But we want to make a paradigm shift where we are changing that mentality. For through sports, we can build character, we can build young men, and one human that can change their life, their family, and the whole community where they are from.
Yeah. So the basketball court is, as Steve Stewart says, a point of opportunity. And opportunity unlocks potential. And there's potential within the Haitian people. And just because they live on the countryside doesn't mean that they shouldn't have an opportunity. So if that bears witness with your heart and you're like, yeah, I want to help, then you can do that. If you're going to write a check, you can write it to We See Jesus Ministries, and you can send it to 31 Wernicke Place, Little Ferry, New Jersey, 07643. And on the memo, you can write Haiti basketball. We're excited about what God is doing, and I'm looking forward to being with you in the spring, and hopefully we'll be finishing this project soon, getting on to the next project, which I have a video already ready. It's ready to roll. It's ready to go. And the next thing is going to be kind of like a kids soccer field right next to the basketball court. So we want to put as much in the community as we can. We want to invest in the community, believing that God is going to do something in the community. So if that bears witness to your heart, you can go to weseejesusministries.com/give/projects, and you'll see the project there. And we'd be delighted if you could partner with us in that. All right. Bless you guys. Thank you, Bishop. I love you, man.
Love you too.